Science Fiction and Fantasy Fans Fantastic Forum. I'm your host, Ulysses Campbell, and we're so pleased that you've joined us here. We are on location today at AwesomeCon DC. And if you look over my shoulder here, you'll see it's pretty doggone awesome. We've got tens of thousands of people who have come to the DC area for the second annual convention that is sure to be a milestone on the convention circuit for the East Coast and nationally. So we have today, we're going to be talking about cosplay. I've got a fabulous panel of cosplayers. I love them. You're going to love them too. Let's meet them now. We have Han Pan.
Hello.
Brian Gregory.
How you doing?
And Denise Ignatowski.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
for having us.
I appreciate you all letting me sit in since I don't have a costume. Things have changed a lot since I first started cosplaying. We made our own costumes. And we sort of looked sideways at anybody who was buying stuff at the time. But today, there's no problem with buying a full costume, elements of your costume. There are people who have whole industries behind commissions, making props, making costumes. So I just want to talk a little bit about cosplay, get you all's opinions on what we're doing today, what it's all about. Let's start with why you do it. We're going to start at the end with Denise.
Well, I know for me personally, I do it because, first off, I love all the characters that I cosplay as. I don't do anyone just like random, like, hey, no, it's people I love and want to do, and it just makes me feel good. Like, it's fun making props or sewing and making an outfit and being like, bam, this is what I did. Enjoy it, everyone.
So you make your own?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Props too?
Yeah, I actually love making props more than I like to sew because it's more fun playing with tools than a sewing machine.
Han, what about you? Why do you do it?
The first time that I decided to cosplay, I was invited to go to a convention with one of my best friends and his at the time fiance, and I was like, it's a costume, or it's a comic convention. Everybody wears costumes, right? So I said, I have to be Harley Quinn. My girl, Harley Quinn. And I looked online, I was gonna buy the costume, and they were all kind of terrible, or they cost $350. And I was broke. So instead I shelled out for a sewing machine, and I was like, maybe I'll like this. And I started costuming, and it's been so much fun. I've met some of my closest friends, some of my biggest supporters in life. The people that have really been behind me during my toughest trials and tribulations have mostly been friends that I met through cosplay. So for me, it's been a lot about creating the relationships that I've made and expressing my love for characters or for a series and just enjoying time with the people that mean the most to me.
Brian, or should I call you Space Ghost?
Well, actually, I came to cosplay thanks to one guy, Eric the Smoke Moran. Many of you guys might know him. He actually put me into it. It was actually a thing that I used to always see, because I've been going to cons since, maybe since 1978. My father used to take me, God rest his soul, and as it went forward, I took my daughters, and I always had the thing about wanting to dress up, but I was a little shy about it because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start it. So basically what happened is I ran into Eric. We started talking. We had a kinship. We connected. Like Han Pan said, some of your best friends evolved from this big thing called cosplay. And it's a beautiful experience for anybody that's willing to engage in it or find out more about it. But the big thing for me was actually just coming along with people who got the way I think, the way I process. Like, you know, they didn't laugh at you. They didn't look at you like you were the odd one out or the strange one. I'm sure, Ulysses, you can relate from the time back then. If you did what we did, you were looked at kind of strange. But now, thanks to this new term called pop culture, we're the in now.
And isn't it beautiful?
It's awesome.
Yeah, the funny thing, I can remember because I was in elementary school. By the time I got to middle school and was still doing it, this is over in New York. We lived in New Jersey, and there was one occasion where a friend of mine, who I was in 7th grade with, where there was some classmate of ours who actually saw him dressed as Luke Skywalker, in New York. and you know, we were kind of maligned. You know, it was like, oh, he was trying to hide his face. You know, I mean, but we didn't even want to walk out of the hotel. You know, I mean, we had to be coaxed initially to walk around the block, and we got to the point where we were willing to go down to Los Astor Plaza and take out a movie in costume. You know, stuff that people just take for granted now.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a little bit about the culture, because a lot has been made of gender swaps and ethnicity swaps, particularly as they relate to costuming and cosplay. So, and you know, you happen to have been at the center of a firestorm at one point, Brian, because of your Doctor Strange cosplay. But you know, of course, Doctor Strange being a Caucasian character,
yes.
and you're African American.
Yes.
You know, how do you? First, I guess starting with you, because of that you know, little kerfuffle, as Shireen would say. Does it matter that you have somebody who is one ethnicity or one gender that portrays another in terms of cosplay? And if it is or isn't, why?
Liz, I'm glad you asked that question, because honestly, that was my biggest quandary of whether or not I should cosplay initially. But I understood, as everybody who does it understands, for the most part, those of us who really care about it, it's about passion for the character. If you love the character, you're endeared to the character, it doesn't matter whether that character, be it Japanese, European, Afro-American, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Because what should come out more so than your color is your portrayal of that character. That's the most important thing. That's the essence. That's why we do it. We do it simply because it's an expression of ourselves, our highest expression of ourselves, when we're the most happiest with ourselves. Because what we seem to do is to be able to bring smiles to little boys, little girls, to actually be able to inspire them to do different things. And sometimes we take that and we go to the community events like hospitals, charity events, and we give our time, we do that. And the kids, let's say for those who were sick and shut in, who didn't necessarily have the option to go to a con, they get to see us, and that motivates them. So that puts joy in my heart, and that makes me real happy. So the biggest thing for me is, if I can put a smile on a child's face, or maybe an adult who might be tipping the fence as far as wanting to do it, let me be that voice. And I'm happy to do it, and I'm thankful. And for those who detract and literally, you know, call me out of my name or whatever the case scenario might be, you know what? Initially, I had a negative attitude about it, but you know what? Haters motivate me to do more. And the way that my attitude about it is now, the only thing you allowed me to do is to, whatever character I want to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you know, you seem to sum that up very completely. I think that given that, I'm going to ask the ladies a slightly different question, because something else that you hear with great frequency in terms of cosplay, particularly as it regards female cosplayers, there are a lot of guys who seem to feel that it's okay when they see a woman at a convention who might be, you know, dressed like Psylocke, you know, that it's okay to make unwarranted advances or crude comments. What do you have to say about that, Denise?
For me, happily, I haven't had too much to have to deal with that happily, because I would probably get in a lot of trouble, because I tend to be more aggressive than most people. I'm a cute little person until you make me angry. But
cute little velociraptor.
Yeah, just a little bit. But for me, like, it's all about manners. Like, you were brought up on a good home. Don't try to, like, touch me in a weird way. That's not okay with that. But happily, most people, they'll do the hover hand, that little hey. And that's fine and funny all at the same time. But for me personally, like, just, we're all normal human beings. Like, just give me my space. Don't try to touch me weird. No, not about that.
And what about you? What sort of experiences have you had? How do you feel about, you know, guys seeing you and thinking, oh, hey, wow, you know, check her out?
I mean, on the one hand, when you dress in costume, you know that you're going to garner attention. we all say we do it because we love it, we love the character, but we also, we want to be recognized for our hard work and the fact that we all look fabulous. You know, everybody does. But that doesn't give anyone else the right to disrespect you as a human being. And I don't understand why there's this idea that because I'm at a convention, I can say things that I wouldn't say to you if you were out on the street, or I can say things that I wouldn't say to you if my mother was standing next to me. And I kind of have to have that reaction to someone, if someone says something to me. And I've had it happen on more than one occasion, just kind of be like, excuse me, did you know I'm a daughter? I have a father who would probably do terrible things to you. Did you know I'm a sister? My sisters would probably tear you limb from limb. Did you know I'm a girlfriend? You wouldn't say these things if you think of this person as a human being. But unfortunately, sometimes when you get in these convention settings, the people around you don't necessarily think of you as a human being. They think of you as a walking billboard. And I think it's really important to generate positive interaction with people, because when you talk to someone and you say, oh, you love this character? What do you love about this character? Here are the things that I like. Then it really humanizes you. And I think people have a much more difficult time treating a woman like an object, or a person like an object or like a billboard, when they see you as a human being and as someone who has a family and a life and hobbies.
Very well articulated. Now, we're going to have to take a break, but we are going to be right back. We're going to show you some more stuff here from AwesomeCon, and don't go away. We will be right back, and we're going to pick up this scintillating conversation about cosplay.
Hi, I'm Fiona Staples, and you're watching Fantastic Forum.
What's up, y'all? It's your man, David. Here at AwesomeCon, about to get this party started. We're gonna take you out to many places and see many faces from many dimensions and many spaces. You understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna get this party started. We got plenty of people to see. Oh my God, it's crazy. Yo, so we're gonna jump right into it. So mask on, and let's start the adventure. Look at what I just found right here. What's your name, sir?
Bill Marcelino.
And who are you today?
I'm Wolverine.
What? And who are you?
Brittany Lewis,
Brittany Lewis, and who are you?
X23.
X23, we got the cars in the house. Give me a high five. You ain't cutting me, brother. That's all dancing with Wonder Woman, man. I've been wanting to do this for years. But interview one of my favorite bounty hunters, Bobo Fett. You know what I'm saying? I'm so scared right now. What's your name, sir?
Rick.
Rick, oh snap, we all with horses. Hey, what's your outfit, Rick?
What's that?
What I say? Is you real and your lady?
Samantha,
Samantha, what's your outfit you rocking?
I'm a peacekeeper.
She's a peacekeeper, the law, baby. This is the worst combination ever. So describe your outfit for me, sir.
It took about 5 years to make.
5 years?
About 5 years to make. I bought this site called the Dead Helmet, and they cast a lot of the parts from the actual movie costume.
Awesome. And you?
Well, actually, the helmet and the chest plate are from the movie Hunger Games. Got it at an auction, and the rest just put together myself.
So how you guys feeling about AwesomeCon this year?
Love it.
Love it?
Yeah.
Is this your first one?
Second.
We were
Second.
here last year.
And how was it? Is it a difference from last year and this year?
A lot bigger.
Oh God! He's a real nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the chances, right?
Well, we have
At
to
AwesomeCon.
We gotta get our
Okay,
Sonics out.
Okay, they got their
give us-
Supersonics. What's going on here?
Alright, got
Light
Dr.
'em up.
Sonics.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Alright. Malfunction.
Malfunction, no.
Isn't that awesome? Yes.
So tell me, as fans, what do you guys like about the con?
Just seeing all the costumes.
Everyone's all around being all friendly and talking to everybody.
Right? So what classify you guys as super nerds? Because you know you're super fans,
Yes.
so you gotta be super nerds.
Yes.
What are you? How do you classify yourself as a super nerd?
Doctor Who, Firefly, anything that has a sci-fi or science or space, I watch it.
Comic books, television, fantasy, sci-fi novels.
Come on, dance! Get loose, baby. AwesomeCon, baby! Fantastic Forum! Let's go! This is Loki right here. So, lady, tell me, what is your name?
My name is Carrie.
And who are you dressed as?
I am Lady Loki. It's an original design based on the comic version.
Oh my goodness. Now, did you put this together yourself?
I made absolutely everything that I'm wearing.
Oh my God, explain it to me. Tell me what the detail is here.
Well, I took a design from the comics and then I added more to it to make it look more regal and a little bit more in line with the Asgardian clothing in the movies.
How you feel about the con today?
This is the first time I've been to Awesome Con. I'm really loving it so far. I will definitely be back.
My name is Allison.
Allison, and of course you're dressed as?
Wonder Woman.
Oh my goodness. Now let's talk about this. What made you choose this outfit?
There's actually a new statue that Sideform is coming out with of Wonder Woman with her spear and her shield. I unfortunately didn't have time to finish those props, but I was doing that version of her, this costume.
So you made this yourself?
Most parts, yes.
Most parts. Okay, tell me the parts that you made.
So the metalwork is the stuff that I did, and the bottom. I didn't sew this corset because I suck at the corset.
Now, how do you feel about the Awesome Con this year?
It's pretty good so far. I haven't made it to a panel, but yeah, I'm liking it.
Well, are you going to be in any contests today?
No, I'm not a contest person. I like being the characters, and then I like seeing all the artwork. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just go see other artisans and doing what they love.
So a true fan of the art.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Once again, it's your man David O here with the mightiest woman on the planet, Wonder Woman, reporting live at Awesome Con for Fantastic Forum. Can I get you to yell out Awesome Con for me one time?
Awesome Con!
She said it with so much power!
Welcome back to Fantastic Forum, coming to you on location from Awesome Con DC. It's the second Awesome Con and the second episode that we happen to be taping this weekend. And I am thrilled to have this wonderful panel of cosplayers who you have already met if you were with us in the first segment of this show. We're going to pick up where Han left off just a second ago, talking about the objectification of cosplayers. Now, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here for a moment.
Please.
And what do you say to the fanboys or mundanes who come out to these shows who say, oh, well, hey, look, she's dressed like Psylocke. She wants to be an exhibitionist. You don't dress like that in real life. You come out here and then you don't expect me to say anything? What's your response to that?
I still have a response of that you don't earn the ability to disrespect me just because I chose to wear a costume. My love for my character and the fact that I cosplay and the fact that I express my passion in this way doesn't give you the right to be a pig. It doesn't give anybody the right to be disrespectful and to treat me like I don't matter.
Yeah, very well said. Denise, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, if it happened to me, I'd just probably smile and be like, I'm glad you find me that attractive, but thank you. Have a great day. That's pretty much the most that I just smile and just have a good day.
So you haven't run into that sort of attitude?
Not as much, happily. I think it's because some people find me a little intimidating, just a smidge. So.
So basically, they're scared to take you on.
A little bit. A little bit. I think the one experience I had, I was Saeko from High School of the Dead, and she's very voluptuous, and I was a little bit out, and some guy was like, "Oh my God," and I was just like, "Thanks. Gotta go."
You're much more polite than I am, though, because I mean, I have a tendency to speak what's on my mind and to be very forthright about things like that. And if someone does that to either my friends or to myself, I say, hey, no, stop that. That's not okay. Because if not for me, then I need to do it for someone like you, who might not be able or willing or want to put themselves in a position it is a very uncomfortable position to be put in.
It definitely is.
Absolutely, and I hope that any guys who go to conventions who watch this take special note of what these ladies have said, because it's never funny or cool or appropriate to objectify somebody, and that's why I thought that your comment about, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, and that's not the way that people look at a cosplayer sometimes, but if they took the time to do that, they would probably change their behavior. Okay, shifting gears for a moment, let's talk a little bit about the process, because in the beginning I was talking about how some people buy elements, some people make them. There's a whole industry now that is based on, I am going to make different elements of your costume. Each one of you, what do you do? Do you make it? Do you buy it? Is it different elements? I mean, what do you do? Starting with you, Han.
Well, I actually love sewing. I even make some of my own work clothes and personal clothes because I really enjoy it. I'm not that fabulous when it comes to certain jewelry stuff, sculpting, some prop work. I have done it on my own and it's fine, but I also love having pieces that my friends have made or that people that I've met in the industry have done. I love being able to say, oh, you like this wand? So-and-so made it for me and you should go pay the money to make you more. So I do end up buying some components of my costume when I know it's outside of my abilities, but I also love to pimp out the people that make stuff for me so that they can get more business too.
Denise, what about you? I heard you say earlier that you love making the props.
Oh gosh, I love props, but hand to God, I cannot sculpt. No, I've tried. As soon as clay gets in my hand, it's still clay on the floor, thrown away, because I cannot do it. So I have no problem reaching out to people and be like, for the love, please sculpt this for me. But other than that, like I love making props. Like I have a bigger toolkit than most of my guy friends, so it's sort of emasculating for them a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm a little intimidated sitting over here. What about you, Spurs goals?
Actually, my main part that I deal with it as far as in the interest of time, I design it. So in other words, I might find a couple of designs, merge a couple of things together. Some of the props I do, some of the things Eric has helped me out with, some of the things Ramon Ramos has helped me out with. So it's a combination of, shall we say, design, other people's effort, me showcasing it, and me giving them their props when it actually hits, the lens via tag, and actually putting them out there for when somebody asks me, like, hey man, where did you get that from? Let me give you their website. So it kind of goes, shall we say, like all the way around.
I gotcha. Okay, in the few minutes that we have left, I just want to touch on a little bit about what we were talking about earlier in terms of the gender swaps and the ethnicity swaps, because it's been my experience that people cosplay for two reasons. They either cosplay because they love it, the love of the character, the enjoyment of doing it, or they cosplay because they are trying to win a contest. And I'm sure we know a lot of folks out there, who are trying to win a contest. I used to say, back in the olden days of cosplaying, if you had a pair of wings, you were going to win the contest.
Yeah.
So, let's talk briefly about that in terms of, each sort of point of view and how we feel looking at both of those. Because I'm sure we can, I'm sure we can see both of those. So, Space Ghost.
Actually, I'll tell you like this. Believe it or not, I officially have never entered a costume contest. Never. The only reason why I've never entered a costume contest because, in my opinion, I didn't have anything that I thought was like just going to dazzle. Now, when I have the dazzling costume that, that lights up and does all this and every little thing, then I'll be like, okay, maybe it's time for me to go ahead and, take the shot. Now, here's the thing. Whether I win or not, to me, is not the big deal, believe it or not. It's just get the props for the costume.
Yeah,
so people can see
does it for the love of it.
So people can see it. So people can, take the shots, get tagged. That's the big thing, at least for me. I can't say for everybody else, but I have no problem for people who do decide to get, for costume contests, because let's face it, what we do on any given scale, no matter how minute, it can get very expensive. Very expensive.
You can say that again.
And if you can subsidize it by winning a couple of contests, so be it.
Okay. All right, Denise, what about you?
I'm all fine for friendly competition. Friendly competition. Me and my best friends, we're always like, I love that character. Well, I love that character too. Who can make it better? So we all put our different spins on it and each have our own unique things, but I never really think I'm better than anyone else because it's all about the fun. I've done one cosplay contest, and it was just because a friend had no one signed up, and I was like, well, I guess I'll do it. And I tripped up the stairs. So that was me. Super graceful.
Did you win?
No. Tripping up the stairs does not let you win. But just seeing all the different outfits, it was a great experience, but never feel insecure about what you make, because I feel that, like, own it. Own what you do, who you are. Don't be worried that, like, oh my god, that person's way better than me. Don't ever think that.
Huh?
To me, it's really important that whenever you cosplay, you do what makes you happy. And whenever someone else cosplays, they should do what makes them happy. They shouldn't be worrying about what makes you happy. So I've done costume contests, I've judged costume contests, I've pretty much done everything in regards to them, and I think they can be a lot of fun. I don't get to perform a lot in my day-to-day life, but that's something that I miss from when I was young, and costume contests give a great opportunity to put on a little performance, and I love that component. I know people that all they do is cosplay for a contest, and that's great. That makes them happy, and that's all that I care about. Like, if you're cosplaying, are you happy? Good. If you're not, figure out how to make yourself happy. And if that means doing contests because it makes you feel fulfilled, do the contest. If that means quitting the contest because that makes you feel fulfilled, quit the contests. I'm all about the happiness.
Well, I think that's a very healthy point of view. Okay, in the last few seconds that we have, I would just like to find out from each of you what is next on your horizon. What's the next character or big costume that you're working on? And, you know, be quick because we've got seconds left. Denise, what about you?
Actually, I will be the elf from Dragon's Crown. So I have the wig done, I have the cape done, I'm working on the rest of the outfit, and I made a giant bow and arrow.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see this.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And Space Ghost, what about you? What's your next costume coming up?
My next, and should I say probably my favorite costume, is Ultraman Hayate.
Oh, that should be interesting.
And if anybody is familiar with Ultraman, they now know that all the older Ultramen, they wear capes. Might as well have a cape, absolutely. And the blinking light, and the eyes. So I'm super amped for that.
I cannot wait to see that. Okay, and take us into the anchor. What is it? What do you got?
I'm going to be working on a Transformers Autobot.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I bet that's going to be fun, and you're going to be happy making it.
I'm going to be so happy.
And we're all happy here.
Absolutely.
And we hope you're happy too for having joined us for yet another exciting episode of the Comic, Science Fiction, and Fantasy Fans Fantastic Forum. I just want to give a quick shout out to a new sponsor, Victory Comics, where we have taped on location, and we will be back to tape on location again. If you'd like more information about this show, we would love to tell you about it. You know, we thank AwesomeCon for letting us set up here, you know, and, you know, we're going to be doing some more stuff. You check that out. So, anyway, look for us again. Same bat time, same bat station. Victory! 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 Join the Fantastic Forum fan community on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for all the latest news and updates.